Hi everyone, welcome to this special video. I have Katerina Nicole on the channel. Thank you so much for coming on, Katerina. And I just want to say beforehand, congratulations on your phenomenal EP. Like, honestly, it's phenomenal.
Thank you. That's so kind. It's nice to be here, and thanks for having me today.
You're more than welcome. I bet you it kind of feels a bit surreal to like have your EP out, like, oh, it's out now.
It's a weird feeling because even releasing them as singles, it still wasn't the whole piece of work put out there all together, how it's meant to be listened to, from start to finish on the EP. So it's a interesting feeling to be like, this is my baby, but here now for you. It's a gift from me to you to interpret and to, enjoy it as you wish.
Yeah, well, I absolutely loved it. In fact, this weekend, because I knew like we were having this interview coming up this weekend, I've just had it on repeat, and there's not one song I have gone, oh, I don't like that one. Every song have been phenomenal, honestly.
Thank you. Oh my God, that's such a compliment. I love that. Thank you so much.
You're welcome. Well, I'm going to start the interview off, even though I've asked you questions. And most of the, well, not most of the questions, some of the questions are from my Patreon members, because, obviously I like to keep them involved with everything. And the first question is, your earlier music was more pop-based music. Why did you decide to go down the more rock or hard rock route?
I knew it was going to be more fun. And I knew that I could use more of my vocals and experiment more and not be afraid to jump out of a box. That's probably been the biggest piece of the puzzle of doing an EP is letting everything go. You get in the booth and you just let your vocals do what they want to do as they're feeling it in the song. And for me, that was a hard process to get out of the classical training, the folk, the opera training I did. Like I did so much, and I didn't realize it until, as of recent, that I have to somewhat unlearn some of that.
Wow. Yeah. Like, so I didn't know that you had opera training either. Like, I didn't know about that. Wow.
Not a lot, but some of it growing up. I think I was like maybe between age 9 and 13, I think I did. I took as much training and advice as I could in my area, coming from a small town. So it was like, it's going to be maybe one more thing that helps me down the road.
Yeah. Am I right in saying that you're in Canada, are you? Or
I am. I'm in British Columbia.
Okay. Yeah. Is that the same area of Freeze the Fall, is it? Or
yes.
Okay. I've interviewed them as well. They're amazing.
It's awesome because I've been to a few of their shows, and then they came and supported me the last weekend when I had my EP release show. So I love those guys. They're so great.
Amazing. Okay, well, the next question is, what is the most personal story behind one of your songs?
Ooh. Okay. You want to dive deep? Okay.
Yeah, might as well.
I would say it has to be Catch My Breath. And the reason is because it's the first track on the EP, and it was also the first one that we created. And it really set the tone for the reason why I wanted to create this specific style of an EP. And for a long time, I just pushed away things that I really wanted in my life because I didn't think that I was worthy enough to have them. And what I know now gets, when you get to what I know now at the end of the EP, you're like, oh, I really get it now. Like what she's gone through and, but from the beginning of Catch My Breath, it was me holding so tightly onto certain things and not processing them, not getting through those traumas. And this EP just became a whole healing journey for me. And I think because I allowed myself to go that deep into self-reflection, Catch My Breath really allowed the other songs to exist after that.
Wow, like that has actually given me a more deeper meaning of Catch My Breath, because I have to admit, Catch My Breath is actually my favorite song at the moment. And I didn't listen to your EP today before this interview, and I've actually got it in my head.
Love
like
it.
the chorus, like so. That's brilliant. Thank you for sharing that as well, because obviously, personal stuff, like sharing personal stuff, is a cherished thing, I think, in life. When you share your story. Um, okay, the next question is: if you could collaborate with any artist, past or present, who would it be and why?
I love this question, but at the same time, I hate it because I believe everything is about timing, and depending on, the theme that you want to go for a collaboration, I could give you so many answers. See, and then I draw a blank because I'm like, which artist should I say, but it's just who I've been feeling lately. And I think, man, it changes from time to time. Now I should just get okay. I gotta say Hayley Williams because
Yes.
was such a huge influence for
Mm.
me. And I feel like you never know who's watching, so I'm like,
Yeah.
I want to let people know who really means the most to me. And she will always be like number one for me. If I wanted to have more of a harder metal collaboration, I would probably say Cane Hill. I love Elijah's vocals, and I'm really into them. I just saw them in Vienna this past year. And if I wanted to go more pop, I would say Dayseeker.
Oh yeah.
He really helped me like keep a pop feel to this EP in a lot of ways. Bringing something that's been familiar to me and then putting it on such heavy instrumentals. So that's a long
Yeah.
answer for you because I gave you a few, but yeah.
No, like aside from one, Dayseeker and Hayley Williams, brilliant. The other one, I have not heard of them before, so I need to do a reaction to them.
Yeah, you should. You should.
Yeah.
I'm not sure what label they're on, if they are on one right now, but they are touring right now. It's pretty exciting, and they're touring with Gore, I believe.
Okay. Well, I'll definitely give them a try. I'll probably message you in private going, so which song do you think?
Fade.
Yeah.
Fade
So,
is
what was that song?
Fade. The song Fade by King
Okay.
Hill. Yeah.
Okay. I will add that to my ever lengthening list of song requests.
Sounds good.
So the next one is, how do you balance your personal life and your music career?
Well, I have two major loves in my life, and music has always been there, and so have animals. I have like such a big passion for working in shelters, rescuing, medicating, rehabilitating, fundraising, all that stuff. So it's a little bit difficult for me because I live half of the year in Greece, where
Oh, wow.
I do that. And there's not much access to all my music stuff right now as things are just starting to kick off for me. So it's been a bit of a juggle, but that's okay because I'm fulfilling two of my soul's needs. So it's okay.
Wow, that's amazing. That is amazing. Like I love animals as well. Dogs are my favorite animal. Like I recently looked after a husky,
Ooh.
and when she's called Evie, and when she went away, it was like my part of my heart kind of went with her.
I know that feeling completely. I fostered a dog. I found her on a chain. I rescued her and had her for 3 years, and she finally got a forever home adopted to Germany. So I feel you. It's so hard. You feel like a piece of you that has gone with them for sure.
Yeah. Well, the next question is, how do you like to unwind after a busy day creating or performing?
I go to sleep. I'm like such a granny. I'm such an old soul. So like after our first show, by the time I packed up the whole set, my merch and everything, I'm doing everything like with me and like maybe a couple other people. It's like 1 a.m. I'm like I'll eat a couple of cheeseburgers and pass out.
It's like, yeah, guys, my social radar's just gone down. I need to go to sleep.
Yeah, I get overstimulated pretty easily, on stage and in, the environments and stuff. So
Mm,
yeah.
yeah. Well, the next question is, if you weren't a musician, what would you be doing? Which you might have answered that, but
Yeah, basically, but there's a few things I've wanted to be in my life, but I think I really am happy with the simple things. So yeah, let's go with working at the shelter or becoming a vet. I'd probably do that just to like know more.
yeah. If you could swap lives with any artist in the world for one day, who would it be?
Oh my gosh, no one's ever asked me that. I never heard that question. That's a good one. Oh man. It would have been Elvis, probably.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah. He was my idol. Like I was mesmerized as a baby. So
Mm,
yeah, that'd be cool.
wow. Like I didn't like most people go for like the artists like I don't know, Freddie Mercury, Michael Jackson, and all David Bowie. I didn't expect Elvis to come along, and I was like, wow, that's actually a really good one. Like
Like
because
I've seen his documentaries, and when the way that they portrayed it and the way I really believe it was like for him is insanity,
mm,
but so exciting at the same
yeah,
time. Yeah.
that's awesome. Next question is, do you ever get writer's block? And if so, how do you deal with it?
I've had it a few times and I've dealt with it differently each time. Sometimes it's like a block that I have to get through, like maybe I can't see myself in a certain way, or I'm not taking accountability or
Yeah.
something like that. So I'll have to really sit with the song and be like, okay, what am I avoiding? The other times I'm thinking way too much. My ADHD kicks in and I'm like, I could write a million things and you don't know what fits. And then other times just like taking it easy and try to let it go for a couple days and then come back to it.
Yeah. Well, that's kind of like for me personally. Obviously, I create videos and stuff. I kind of go away, then come back a couple of days after and go, okay, I'm fresh-minded now. I know what I'm going to be doing. So I totally connect with you on that level of, and also the overthinking part. Boy, do I overthink sometimes. Like
It's easy
it's
to.
hard. Yeah, it's hard to actually walk away from the overthinking, you know. So yeah, everything you've just said, I've just really connected with on that level. But I think we do live in a day and age now where everyone overthinks because of how the world is.
Yeah. And even if you're not famous, everybody's looking at what you're doing all the time with all of the technology we have now, so you always want to be perfect. And, we're just not, we're imperfect. We're humans. And it's hard to think about that all the time.
Yeah, that is very true. I'm going to go on to the next question. So what made you decide that you wanted to be a singer or musician? Like, was there a moment where you just went, this is what I wanted to do? Or was it from like childhood? You just knew?
I just knew. Even as a really little kid, I was always asking my parents to like do a performance for them during commercials. And then like, American Idol came on in the US and Canada. I don't know if you know what that is. Yeah. And then I just got into my lessons so quickly. I think at like age 5, going into age 6, I started lessons and I got on stage right away. And it was just like,
wow.
I performed in front of, I think, 2,000 people when I was 6 years old. And I sang a song called Rabbits.
Oh my God. Whoa.
I know. And I wore like this beautiful, like white dress, like it looked like poofy at the bottom. And I remember that being that age, I remember just loving that feeling. And I think from seeing Elvis, we have an Elvis festival. So my grandma would take me and I would just see the energy being exchanged from the stage to the crowd. And it's such a cool thing.
That, like I bet you came off the stage going, like the rush was in you going, whoa, like, did I just do that? Like,
Yeah.
you know,
It is a rush, and I think it's a healthy rush to have. I don't know. It's better than
yeah.
doing drugs and stuff like that.
Oh, yeah.
It's like an electrifying feeling, and then you get off and you're feeling accomplished, and you feel connected to people, and it's a thing. Yeah.
Well, I'll just be honest on a personal note, because I don't hide anything on my channel, like, like emotions and stuff. I'm probably going to feel a rush after this because I've always wanted to do interviews. Like, there's
Oh,
an
you
interviewer.
should. Yeah.
Yeah. There's an interviewer who I follow called Zane Lowe, if you've heard of him.
Yes.
And I watched his video when he did an interview with Blink-182 when they all got back together. And I was like, I want to do that. And now, like, so literally, I'm going to be feeling that rush after this going, okay.
That's great.
um,
And that's the kicker of like what I would want people to take away from this EP is thinking about their own life and following their dreams and doing what they want to do. There's a lot of that within the tracks on the EP.
Yeah. I actually, and yeah, I kind of get that because whenever I listen to music, I listen to the words as well in my own time. And you just explained that about your EP kind of just made a lot of sense. This is the next question. I personally have had in my life songs that have massively impacted me. Like Foo Fighters all my life got me into rock music. Like,
Nice.
I remember the first time hearing that song, I was like, holy crap, what is that? Like, is there an artist or song or songs, you can have multiple, that have impacted your life like that?
I would say off the top of my head, Alicia Keys comes to mind. When I heard her come out with Fallen and her playing the piano and seeing that on TV was just like amazing. And that era was great because we also had Celine Dion, Avril Lavigne just started coming out. Britney, Christina's voice was amazing. It still is. For me, it was a lot of women, to be honest, because I could see how they were expressing themselves and what they were doing with vocals, and that really stood out to me.
Yeah. You've said some mighty powerhouse women there. Mighty powerhouse women. The next question are, were there any artists you were listening to at the time of making this EP that influenced the sound and direction of the EP? I think you answered that, but I'm asking it again.
I think it was just digging into myself and having tunnel vision. I think that was really important for me. Getting more into the metal and breaking that down in the studio and hearing how things get built and what jives with each other and stuff like that, sonically learning more of the heavy stuff from behind the scenes. I've listened to a lot of heavy metal in my life, but getting in the studio and doing that's quite different.
Yeah, I bet.
And like, even going from deep house was very electronic, using different DAWs and stuff. So I think I was like, what am I trying to say?
Okay.
It gets like so complicated, but yeah, I think that was a big inspiration, was listening to different artists at the time and Spirit Box was huge for me because Courtney does have very melodic vocals. And that meshes really well, and I just started screaming the last couple of years. And so I was like, oh, you can do both. And it made me feel like, oh, I could do that, if I want to, or, however little or as much as I want to do of each, I can do it.
Yeah, like I have to admit, you can catch my breath. When you scream, I felt that. I was like, oh, like I think I've got it in my reaction. When you screamed, I was like, yeah. And I personally,
very cathartic.
Yeah, like I personally was like, before I did reactions, not really into that music, and now I'm just like, this is good music, like so I really felt your screaming, catch my breath. I really did. I think we're on the last question.
Sure.
which is, what country is on your wish list to tour if you could do it, or if you are going to do it?
Oh, I would say South America. I absolutely love. And I would say Japan would be pretty awesome.
Wow. Yeah. I've always wanted to go to Japan. It looks crazy over there.
Yeah. A couple of the guys in my band, they've toured in Japan. Yeah.
Wow.
They speak very highly of it. And just how passionate the fans are in South America.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I do actually have one question which has just formed in my head now as I'm talking to you. So I'm going to finish off with, what's next for you? Like, if you can divulge anything, like, you know, musically, what's next? Are you going to go on tour? Are you making new music now that you've just had an EP out? What's next? If you can, you know, say that.
The beauty of it is I can because I'm an indie artist.
Yeah.
So I do what I want.
Yeah. There's no like big wigs going, shut it down.
No, it's kind of nice. I really like that because I am very independent. So I like to do things when I want to do them.
Yeah.
But no, I would love to tour, but I just have the 5 tracks from that EP. So I am finishing up EP 2 right now.
Oh, okay.
It's very exciting. There's more energy. There's a lot more screaming, and
Great.
yeah, it's a very, very good vibe. So I think putting out more music is imperative. I just want to keep releasing stuff into the world, and being able to perform as much as I can would be amazing. So it's the time that I want to build my team. So I am looking for a manager and possibly a booking agent, you know, just to keep networking. And I think that's so important.
Yeah. So if anyone is watching this and you think, oh, maybe, you know, I'll put your contact details down below under the screen so that they can have a look.
Thank you. Yeah, my website has my CDs and vinyl, my merch. You can contact me by email that you can link if you like. I'm available on Instagram. So yeah, I'm always down to chat.
Yeah, we need to get you on Patreon and buy me a coffee.
Why not? That sounds like a great idea.
Yeah, it's so that you guys who are watching, you can help her out, you know. But yeah, Katerina, it's been so amazing to have you on the channel. Thank you so much for coming for an interview. And yeah, I honestly wish you all the best, like, you know, with this EP and the future EP. And selfishly, we've got to get you over to the UK to perform.
I would love that. We could definitely set that up. You know, I'm a free bird, and if my band wants to come with me, or if I hire some people to be in the band, I'll be there. Let's book it.
If you want to come to Glasgow, I'd happily help out.
That would be awesome. Yeah, it's a beautiful area.
I know a lot of the Glasgow music scene now, and there are places which I think, oh, this will be great for, you know, so and so, you know. So yeah, let's chat behind the scenes. But
good.
Yeah.
All right. Thanks, guys, for sticking around and getting to know me a little bit, and thanks, Daniel, for asking me questions and getting to know me.
Yeah, you're welcome, guys. Thanks for watching.